Let's be real for a second. For most managers, when you hear performance review season, it kind of brings on a slight headache, right? But what if we could totally change that? Today, we're going to break down how to turn that whole dreaded process into maybe your single most powerful tool for building a super motivated, high-performing team.
So, if you're a manager, this question probably hits pretty close to home. You know that annual wave of pressure, all the paperwork, and yeah, maybe even a little bit of dread? I get it. You are definitely not alone. It's a super common feeling.
I think this quote just perfectly captures the feeling, doesn't it? For so many people, reviews are just something you have to get through, not something you actually embrace. But it doesn't have to be like that at all. Let's dig into how to make them genuinely productive and maybe even motivational. Okay, so the first and honestly the most crucial step isn't some tactic or trick. It's a fundamental shift in your mindset. This one change in how you approach the whole thing, it frames everything else we're about to cover. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? The judge is distant, they're focused on the past, and they're there to deliver a verdict. But the coach is invested, they're looking to the future, and their whole goal is to encourage growth. Think about it. When an employee feels like they have a coach in their corner, they're not just more open to feedback, they're actually looking for it so they can get better. So with that coaching mindset locked in, how do you actually prepare? Let's get really practical here with a simple 3-step playbook for success. These 3 steps are your foundation. It's all about doing your homework, getting the full picture, and sharing what you know in advance. Nailing this prep work is what turns a meeting from a potential ambush into a really productive, collaborative session. You have to treat this prep time as sacred. I mean it. Block it off in your calendar just like you would a meeting with your own CEO. That single act sends such a powerful message. You are a priority, and your success really matters to me. This is your time to review their goals, gather the facts, and figure out the one key message you want them to walk away with. Step 2 is all about seeing the whole picture. Because, let's face it, as a manager, you don't see everything. You just can't. That's why getting that 360-degree feedback is so vital. When you blend your own perspective with input from their peers and, of course, their own self-assessment, you go from a narrow little snapshot to a complete, well-rounded view of their performance. And finally, the last piece of your prep is to prepare your employee. Seriously, no surprises. Share the agenda, share the feedback, share whatever documents you're going to talk about beforehand. This simple act of transparency completely changes the vibe, turning the meeting from a tense monologue into a collaborative dialogue. Okay, you've done all the prep work. You're ready. Now it's time for the meeting itself. Let's get into the tactical advice for making this conversation as effective as it can possibly be. Don't underestimate the small stuff, the logistics. The time and place to choose, it sends a huge signal. A quiet, neutral space says this is a priority. And please, for everyone's sake, avoid that late Friday afternoon slot. Nobody wants that. This conversation deserves fresh energy from both of you. Now, let's talk about the feedback itself. What you see here, this is a perfect example of what not to do. It's vague, it feels personal, and it's totally unhelpful. It just leaves the employee feeling defensive, with absolutely no clear idea of how to actually improve. Now, compare that to this. It's specific, it's factual, and it's not judgmental. It focuses on the behavior, not the person. See the difference? This opens the door to a productive conversation about why it's happening and how you can work together to fix it. Specificness is what turns criticism into actual coaching. It's really all about balanced communication. Always start by celebrating their wins. Frame challenges as growth opportunities, not weaknesses. And maybe most importantly, listen way more than you talk. Ask open-ended questions to make it a real dialogue, not just you talking at them. Nobody should ever leave this meeting wondering, so what now? Before you wrap up, you absolutely have to agree on the outcomes. Work together to set clear goals, define what support they need from you, and build a concrete development plan. Clarity is kindness, and it makes sure you both leave that room with a shared sense of purpose. And that brings us to our final and, maybe the most transformative principle of all. The annual review isn't the finish line. It's just one stop in a continuous, ongoing cycle of growth. This right here is the difference between an event and a process. If the only time you have a really meaningful conversation about performance is just once a year, you are leaving a massive amount of growth and potential on the table. The real goal is to make feedback a continuous, normal part of your conversation.
So why are these regular check-ins so powerful? Well, they let you track progress on the goals you've set together, they let you solve small problems before they blow up into big ones, and, most importantly, they consistently send the message that you are invested in their development every single day, not just once a year. And that right there is a huge driver of engagement.
So, to bring it all together, this isn't about adding more work to your already full plate. It's about working smarter. By shifting from judge to coach and really focusing on preparation, clear communication, and continuous follow-up, you transform the entire process from a chore into a really powerful strategic tool.
So that leaves us with this final thought. Your next performance review, it's not just another item on your to-do list. It's a real opportunity. An opportunity to connect, to develop talent, and to build a stronger team. The only question left is, how are you going to coach?